Hello, it's Edith from Love and Life, and today I want to come share with you my weekly Project Pantry update. I'm doing this with Mandy from More to Life and Lisa from Sutton's Days and Heather from the Needy Homesteader. And I just want them to know that I am loving that they are doing this with us. I am building up my supplies and it feels so good. It's just wonderful. I've also been adding to my money stash so that I have money on hand in case of an emergency, and that feels really good too. I have to say it gives me great peace of mind. This week I have nothing to show you that I've stored, but it's out in my freezer, and I would go out and show you, but I'm a disabled person. It's hard for me. So I will just tell you, I have bought from an auction a quarter of a beef, and we had it cut and wrapped, and picked it up from the freezer, and it is in our freezer. Wonderful steaks and roasts and hamburger and stew meat, and the meat that will be wonderful for our storage this week and for our home and our supplies. And so I wanted to share that with you. And I also want to share with you a little something that has helped me through the years with my storage to have a guideline of what I need to store. So I'm going to turn the camera around and share with you, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've written it out. This I figured for just one person per year. So if you have one person in your family, then this will suffice. If you have more than one person, you just double or triple it. So the first one that they talk about is grains. It includes wheat, white rice, oats, corn, barley, or pasta. All of those things are included in the description of grains. And if you look right here, it says 400 pounds. So you need 400 pounds of grains for one person for an entire year. I've calculated below, if you see in parentheses, for 3 months. So if you're striving to get a 3-month supply, you would need 92 pounds of those things for your food storage for 3 months. 400 pounds for a year and 92, I figured 12 weeks. So 12 weeks, you would need 92 pounds. So legumes, dried beans, split peas, lentils, nuts, etc. You need 60 pounds for a year or 14 pounds for 12 weeks. Dairy is powdered milk cheese, powdered cheese, or canned cheese. I don't know. Well, I was going to say I don't know the difference between powdered cheese and canned cheese, but I do. It would be like canned cheese is like the cheese that's already ready for like nachos and stuff. I added regular cheese because it can be put in the freezer. And for 12 weeks, you could keep cheese that long. And so it's 30 pounds of cheese for a year or 7 pounds for 12 weeks for one person. The sugars, white brown syrup, molasses, or honey, 60 pounds for a year or 14 pounds for 12 weeks. Leavening agents are yeast, baking powder, powdered eggs, etc. And it's 6 pounds for a year or 1 pound for 12 weeks. Salt, table salt, sea salt, soy sauce, bouillon cubes, etc. is 6 pounds for a year or 1 pound for 12 weeks. Fats are vegetable oils, shortening canned butter, 30 pounds for a year or 7 pounds for 12 weeks. Fats are one of the things that I heard was a really difficult thing to get during World War II, that they ran short and you couldn't buy shortenings and find enough fats. And so that's one of the things I've always tried to store is some oil and some shortening. And butter lasts really good in the freezer. So for your 12 weeks, 3 months, I want to say, 12 weeks, you could store 7 pounds of butter per person in your freezer for a long time. And then water, 28 gallons. But it says the amount of water shown is a minimal 2-week supply for one person. It's rarely practical to store more. Supplement it with a great water filter and or water purification kit. And I thought about that, and I think the reason it's not very practical to store more than that is because that's a lot of water for one person to store. And if you have any amount of people in your family, you would be storing a ton of water. So you really need to store quite a bit of water. And purification kits, so that if you had to clean your water and purify it so that you could drink it or cook with it. That's 2 gallons a day. And I thought, I could conserve and only use a gallon a day. But if you were having to use it for cooking, or cleaning it all, I remember my grandma telling me that they used to give all the kids a bath, and they'd start with the oldest. Well, the dad and mom would bathe first, and then the oldest child, and they all bathed. And by the time they were all done, the entire family, the water was pretty filthy. But they would still take that water and mop the floors with it. And so, I think they realized the importance of how difficult not only was it to carry the water to the house, but it was difficult to heat it up. They didn't have the conveniences that we have. And if we had difficult times, we may have a rough time with that too. And so I think water is very important too in our storage. So let me pan out so you can see this entire thing if you wanted to take a picture and write it down for your own purposes. This is what is recommended, a guideline for each person for a year. And so not only am I working on my 3-month storage of the food that we like to eat, like canned foods and meat and all those kind of things, but this is important to have too. And I need to assess exactly how much of this I have. We have 2 in our family. So I need to assess how much, like I have at least 50 pounds of sugar, but I need to buy more, but then if you count the brown sugar and molasses and honey and the syrup you have and add it all together, I need to figure out exactly how much I have of everything and make sure I have at least enough for 3 months. And then after I get 3 months worth for sure, I will make a goal to get 3 more and keep doing that until I have a year's supply. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that this is just the basic suggestions from the LDS Church of what we need to store. And I always felt like if I got have all of these basic ingredients, we could get by with living with these grains and legumes. We could make bread, and we could supplement with the other things that we have in our home. But these are basic, important ingredients to store and to have to sustain our bodies. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you today for my Project Pantry. And I'll come back and share with you again next week.